Hello and welcome back to goldstocktrades.com. Today we have with us Bruce Hansen, CEO of General Moly. General Moly can be traded as GMO on the New York Stock Exchange Amex. Thanks, Bruce, for being here with us today.
Well, thank you, Jeb. It's a pleasure.
Could you give us a progress on the permitting and when we can start seeing construction on Mount Hope?
Oh, absolutely, Jeb. I mean, we're moving along in terms of the overarching permitting process. Obviously, this is a federal EIS process, and we don't fully control the absolute timeline, but we've hit some major milestones recently with the publication of our draft EIS late last year, and going through the public comment period that closed on March 1st. Where we're at now is really working to the degree that we can with the BLM on, digesting those comments, assessing those comments, and proceeding to have a final EIS produced. Once the final EIS is produced, it is published in the Federal Register, and typically what's called the record of decision or the final permits are issued approximately 30 days post the publication. So, I mean, we're thinking it just is a function of how intensive comments are and how much time it's going to take to deal with those. But, we could get the permits anytime from the middle of the year to the end of the third quarter. And at that point in time, we would anticipate, starting construction, shortly thereafter toward, the end of the year. It takes roughly, 18 to 22 months to build the project. So we could be in production, ramping up in production toward the end of 2014.
Bruce, could you give us an outlook on the Moly market and how you see General Moly's Mount Hope project fitting into that bigger picture?
Well, when we look at the moly market, you have to look at both sides of the equation, both demand and supply. And, in terms of demand, we feel that the market is continuing to be very robust going forward. It's recovered significantly from the depths of the recession in 2008, 2009. Actually, moly demand grew at about 12% as you look at the estimates for 2011 versus the actuals for 2010. We think going forward, and a number of forecasters are projecting the moly market to grow at somewhere between 5 to 6, maybe even getting back to the 7% plus growth rates we saw in the 2004 to 2008 timeframe, which means the world needs an additional plus 30 million pounds per year. We've seen some incremental byproduct supply out of South America, some incremental Chinese supply, primary supply meeting recent demand. But as we look forward, there's only a few projects, and we're one of the most advanced that can meet this growing demand. So, and then on the downside, we see the cost structure of the industry such that the high-cost incremental Chinese supply, which has cash costs in the $12 to $15 range, is providing a significant backstop in terms of any downside pressures. Mm-hmm. As an example, in 2008, when we did have the financial crisis, the Chinese went from a significant net exporter to becoming a significant net importer, about 100 million pound swing between their exports to imports, because they shut down incremental high-cost production in China and bought moly when it went below $10 a pound. So, we think the downside is well protected, and we think there's significant upside as we go forward. We have to keep in mind that, again, we'll be in production at the end of 2014, ramping up, only providing significant supply to the market in 2015. By that time, we think the total moly market will be, over 630 million pounds of the total market. So, we're very encouraged about where we are and the long-term prospects for the market. We have significant support and financing support from both the Koreans and the Chinese, and they take a significant, long-term view in terms of market dynamics. Both Posco, our joint venture partner on the Mount Hope project, thinks about their long-term moly needs and has significantly analyzed the market. And they really want to source over 50% of all their input commodities, including moly, in the steel-making process. Our Chinese finance partner, Hanlong, also sees China switching from being a net exporter to being a significant net importer over time. So, I think that helps bolster our confidence in the long-term moly market.
Well, thanks, Bruce, for being here with us today.
Thank you.